So what's up, y'all? I've decided to do a video or whatever the case is. First of all, that 1.9 trillion is about to be passed. The Senate just passed it. It's about to go back to the House so they can repass it because they changed up, one little detail, which is the $15 minimum wage. You know, the Senate wasn't all for that, so I'm pretty sure the House is still going to pass it because Biden is really pushing for the stimulus to go out there. So what does that mean for the stock market? That means retail. Retail is definitely going to be a huge move in the stock market. You already see AMC is doing some type of moves besides, the whole Reddit situation, the whole nonsense promotion. AMC reopened, so they're going to make some money or whatever the case is. Um when it comes to retail, Kohl's is actually going to be one that I would feel people should keep their eyes on because I jumped in Kohl's last year in April when everybody was running out of the stock market at $13 a share. If you look at them now, they're about $57 a share. So safe to say I made some money on that. That's just something to keep an eye out for. Of course, cars, stuff like that. That's gonna be another one because what we seen with the last package when people was getting a 600, a week or whatever the case is plus stimulus, people do what? They bought cars. They rented cars, bought cars, went crazy. So that's something else you could really look at. Energy is another one. Gas, of course, no matter what, gas is gonna be another one. That's just really that. But retail is gonna be a huge one. That's definitely going to benefit probably the most out of everybody else, especially now because last year, the whole coronavirus really hurt retail. However, retail made a comeback. A lot of these stores that survived, they became more online. They adapted, they adjusted, they made more deals. Like I said, Kohl's, again, they did partnerships with Sephora. So before the whole pandemic, Kohl's at one point, their shares was going for $75 a share. The pandemic crippled them. They went all the way down to 13. Now they're going back, right now they're at 57. So I'm pretty sure with the whole Sephora deal, going to their arsenal, they're going to go back up, trailing back to the 75 of their 52-week high. However, now that they got that partnership, it's a good chance that they're going to be over. So that's just, something that I feel that a lot of y'all should keep your eyes on. I don't really do videos, but I just said, you know what, I'm gonna break down the video just a little bit. For me personally, another thing that I like to do is monthly paying stocks, dividends. So I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about dividends. Dividends you can really build up, and I feel like that's where you generate wealth, depending on how you go about it. So when it comes to wealth, it's not about how much you make right then and there. It's about how much passive income that you got going on. So when it comes to dividends, you can definitely really invest into that and build it. And there's two ways that you're investing. When it comes to dividend stocks, the money that you're putting in will also grow with the stock market, but at the same time, the monthly payouts will still go. So it's not about how much the stock grows. It's really about how many shares you have because you get paid with dividend stocks going by shares. A lot of people don't realize that. It's actually by shares. So if I'm in a stock that's basically $5 a share, I don't want to see that stock go to $10 a share. Stay at that $5 a share because that means I can keep buying these shares. So it might not be nothing crazy. You might have something that's giving you 13 cents a share, 14 cents a share, whatever the case is, but as a course of time you're still building. And then again, the initial investment that you put in is also still growing. So being that it's still growing, you're building your money two different ways. So if you ever decide, you know what, I'm tired of the dividends, I want to take my money out, you can take your money out and then realize that you put in $500 and now you might end up with $800 or $1,000. Like I said, dividend stocks most of the time doesn't grow as fast as just regular investing into stocks because their selling point is monthly dividends. But at the same time, getting paid monthly is nice. Let's be honest, it's nice. You can really go in and really invest. Next thing you know, you have a whole amount of passive income that's outside of your job or whatever else you're doing. And passive income, that's what builds wealth. It's not about just how much money you're making right now. It's about how much money you're making that you're not actually working for, but your money is working for. So now you can take that passive income and do whatever you want. I have a situation where I have my money making money for me, and the money that my money is making for me, I'm using that money to make more money for me. So now at this point, it's like I'm investing in certain companies with money that I made with money. So I'm not even actually paying out of pocket. It's just money that I invested that's bringing me money, that's making me more money. And at this point, it's basically like just a money making machine. It's just rotating and rotating. And every month I try to build more and more on it, just so every single month I'll get paid more and more through my dividends. So, it's a nice way to build, and you can keep building it. The only time I plan on ever taking out is if that company ever says, you know what, we're not doing dividends anymore per month. That's when I'll take out my money, and then I'll invest into a whole nother company that is paying monthly dividends. I'm also going to put up a post of, screenshots and pictures of every company that I've seen that I thought was actually a good buy-in that, pays dividends. You have some really high ones and you have some really low ones. Personally, I like the low ones because at the end of the day, I'm not looking at talking to people that have hundreds of thousands of dollars, because the average person does not have hundreds of thousands of dollars. The average person might have $300, $400, $500 to invest. I can't come at everybody and say, oh, it's nothing. Just put in $10,000 and it's nothing. A lot of people don't have $10,000 sitting around. So I like to keep that in mind and go from the low paying stocks to the high paying stocks that have dividends. You might see a company that pays dividends that has, $60 a share. Now, my rule of thumb is any company that you go in, try to get 100 shares as quick as possible, at least 100, because 100 will make a very big difference. Really, I've noticed that the huge number where the money really starts to get, crazy, and you really start to see the growth is 1,000 shares in a company. 1,000 is really the lucky number, because all a share really is a multiplier. A lot of people don't, realize that what a share actually is. Shares are just multipliers. If you have 1,000 shares, you look at it like, okay, that 1 cent that company just made just got hit 1,000 times because you got 1,000 shares. So that's just really how that goes. That's like if I have 100 shares and I know that 1 cent gets hit 100 times, guess what? I just made $1. That easy. And so, that's how that goes. And then if that company makes $1 and I have 100 shares, that $1 gets hit 100 times. So that means I just made $100. That's all it is. It's real basic and simple math. So the more shares you have, the more money you have potential to make. And of course, resources, when it comes to what's your resources, where are you getting your information from? Personally, when it comes to dividends, I like to go onto, Yahoo Financials, and I like to actually look up these companies and their history of dividends and how much these companies are actually worth. What is their stat sheet? What's their checks and balances? What are they going through? What do they have to pay off? And how much are they actually making after they pay off their debts? So I like to look at things like that. I like to see how long the company's been around for, so I could really get an idea how strong that company is. So, like I said, I'm going to post up, a link of, how many dividend companies that I personally seen that I added to my list to watch and check out for. And I've also posted up on my actual, business page stock that I'm actually invested in that pays monthly dividends. And it's not nothing crazy. It's like I think $7 right now. I got in when it was about $5. So I made a few $100s off of it, but again, that's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at how much money can I make off of this monthly. I think it pays like 6 cents a share. That's really nothing, but you keep in mind that means 20 shares, I'm getting paid what? $1.20. Why not? So I mean, my goal is always to jump in and buy at least, 20 shares, because then that's always $1 extra added, and that builds up. Over the course of time, it builds up, and then you can have multiple ones. So let's say this one is paying you on the 15th of every month, and you got another one that's paying you on the 30th, or the 28th of every month, and you got another one that's paying you on the 5th of every month. Now you start building them. Next thing you know, it's like you got 3 different paychecks every single month that you can keep investing into, or you could take out and put the money in your pocket, depending on what you want to do. Right now, I tell people that, stock market right now pays for my haircuts, and it puts gas in my car every month. So that's just a little tip that I just want to share with you guys. This is, like I said, this is my first video. I'm gonna do a lot more. I would definitely love some feedback. I'm gonna post a link to my business page so a lot of people will hopefully subscribe and just see what I'm doing, because I'm not just telling you guys stuff and I'm not actually doing it myself. No, I'm actually putting in the time and effort to do my research and actually learn what's going on, and I'm gonna give full detail, because I look at a lot of YouTubers that talk about the stock market and stuff like that, and they leave out a lot of details. They don't really break down the real. They give you enough information to keep you subscribed to have to rely on them for information. I just gave out, one stock, Coles, and I'll let you know why. And I'm telling you that this is a stock that I was into since it went down to $13 a share, whatever the case is. Now it's at $57 a share. And I mean, obviously, I made money. And that's just really that. So that's really that. I'm going to keep you guys posted and stay in tune.